Okay, good morning. I'd like to welcome you to the Ohio Statehouse. My name is Senator Richard Finan, and I'm the chairman of the Cap Square Review and Advisory Board, and that's the people who oversee and run the operation of the Statehouse and the grounds around it. Before I begin, I'd like to thank Senator Niehaus, Speaker Batchelder, and Governor Kasich for their support of this project. Due to the last-minute scheduling situation, none of them were able to join us today, but they all send their regards. In 1963, the Ohio General Assembly approved the construction of this 1,200 space parking garage to be connected to the Ohio Statehouse. It wasn't an ordinary parking garage, but one hidden beneath the earth to ensure that Ohio's Capitol building and the grounds around it were kept pristine for the people of the state of Ohio. And today marks another important milestone of our Statehouse and this parking facility. Beginning today, electric vehicles will now have one more reason to drive to the Ohio Statehouse. Conveniently positioned electric vehicle chargers in this parking garage. Based upon staff research, the Ohio Statehouse is the first statehouse in the continental United States, and as I said, continental United States, and one of the first public buildings in Ohio to make vehicle charging stations available for public use. I'm especially proud to acknowledge that no public funds were used for the installation in these charging stations. The entire project was made possible through a grant from Clean Fuels Ohio, the U.S. Department of Energy, as well as generous contributions from Honda of America, General Motors, the Eaton Corporation, and Professional Supply, Inc. Their support is very much appreciated. Let's give each of these organizations a hand. So some of these partners are with us this morning to share this event. Sam Spofforth, Executive Director of Clean Fuels Ohio, Calvin Williams from the Eaton Corporation, Joe Silvano, representing Professional Supply, Inc., and Brian O'Connell, representing General Motors. I'd also like to thank General Motors for bringing one of their Chevy Volts today so that we can have a real show and tell. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, and also thank you for the support for the project. Through each of these organizations, we're now able to provide visitors to the Statehouse in downtown Columbus with an opportunity to charge their vehicles. So Capitol Square Review and Advisory Board realized the need for establishing these charging stations to provide easy access to energy for the growing number of electric vehicles on the road today. By making electric charging stations available, the Capitol Square Review and Advisory Board continues to take a lead in promoting energy efficiency for the Statehouse and for all Ohioans. The Ohio Statehouse is committed to going green and promoting green energy, and the installation of this equipment is another example of that commitment. And now, befitting that, the charging stations are on the green level of the Statehouse, you'll notice, of the parking lots. And again, we thank you all for being here. And I'd like to now introduce Sam Spofforth, the Clean Fuels Ohio, for remarks. Sam.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Sam Spofforth, and I'm Executive Director of Clean Fuels Ohio. We're a statewide nonprofit organization that promotes the use of alternative fuels and advanced vehicle technologies in Ohio. I'd like to first thank Senator Finan and the Capitol Square Review and Advisory Board for not only having us here, but for the clean energy initiatives they've undertaken at our great Statehouse. This project is a partnership between the Capital Square Review and Advisory Board, Honda, and Eaton. It's part of an $11 million grant we received from the U.S. Department of Energy for our Ohio Advanced Transportation Partnership. Over 30 projects all over Ohio, including electric vehicles and charging infrastructure, but also natural gas vehicles, charging stations for natural gas, propane auto gas, and other projects. Through these projects, our private sector and government partners, plus the Department of Energy, will invest about $30 million in our state, while jump-starting efforts to reduce our dependence on imported oil and strengthen Ohio's economy. These 6 charging stations, known as Level 2 charging, are a small part of that grant, but they symbolize a big step forward for the state of Ohio. A recent report by the Natural Resources Defense Council ranked Ohio second in the country for so-called clean car manufacturing jobs. So it seems fitting that the parking garage at Ohio Statehouse be one of the first state capitals, as the Senator mentioned, the first in the continental United States to install electric vehicle charging stations. And while we love the example set by this project, the main reason we selected it was because this garage is an excellent location for publicly accessible electric vehicle charging. It's not only convenient for people who work at the Statehouse, but for people working anywhere downtown and people visiting, this area or any place downtown regularly for meetings. And it's also going to further downtown Columbus development and nightlife by giving people with electric vehicles an opportunity to plug in while they're at the theater or at a restaurant nearby. As we near the end of this year and move into 2012, we'll begin to see more and more of these cars on the road. And more drivers will be looking for a place to plug in. Luckily, Ohio has taken steps to be ready. So thank you again, Mr. Senator, and thanks to the Capital Square Review Advisory Board and the other partners, Honda and Eaton. We're honored to be part of this historic event as Ohio moves into the future, and we're glad that we're able to do it with great partners like you.